We are back in St. Louis, getting ready for New York Rangers hockey. Thursday night hockey is presented by Ram Trucks. Closed captioning tonight is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Let's check out our Audi goaltender matchup. And there's the man we talked about, Henrik Lundqvist. Year after year, puts 30-plus wins on the board. And he has been sharp in preseason and looking forward to getting off to a good start. Across the way, the #1 man is 29-year-old Brian Elliott, taking over in goal. The coach of the St. Louis Blues is Ken Hitchcock. Boy, he's faced tough first-round opponents in the playoffs the last.
Boy, he sure has, Sam. This team is built to win. They're trying to make that next step, and Ken Hitchcock said we got to find a way to do it. There's some St. Louis Blues greats out on the ice to get this season started.
Well, he wasn't a St. Louis Blues great, but he did start his pro career in St. Louis, and that's the head coach of the New York Rangers, Alain Vigneault. As there he is, 42-game NHL career, but he said St. Louis still holds very special memories.
Well, you know what? He and I were teammates here. And I'll tell you one thing about Alain Vigneault. And he said, well, I didn't quite have what it took at this level, talent-wise and all this. But I'll tell you what he did have at this level is heart and determination. You talk about somebody that was tough and stand up for their teammates. That was Alain Vigneault.
Well, he did an excellent job last season and comes back just more comfortable knowing the team, knowing the operation. It's his team now. And there is the new captain of the New York Rangers, 25-year-old Ryan McDonagh. He's set to go. The Rangers with McDonagh and Girardi on defense. Brassard, Hagelin, and Zuccarello open up front. The intercept by McDonagh. Alex Steen, number 20 on the forecheck for St. Louis. Here's Steen coming back after the turnover. Quick shot goes high off the glass. Steen went down, and McDonagh moves it across to Girardi. Up ahead, Brassard. With Derek Stepan out of the lineup, Alain Vigneault is going to have to maneuver that center ice position.
Oh, yeah, it affects everything.
Here's Dan Boyle with his first shift as the New York Ranger taking the shot. Starting lineups are brought to you by Infiniti, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. You see the lineups coming across the top of your screen.
Now Dan Boyle, his first shift as a New York Ranger. And what you're going to see out of him is you'll see somebody that really knows how to move the puck, get up the ice, help the power play, and is really hungry, has been hungry to start this season.
Paired with Mark Stahl, Rangers have Marty St. Louis centering Rick Nash and Chris Kreider. Lundqvist playing around boards. Backus winding it to Patrick Berglund. Coming down is Ian Cole, the Notre Dame product. Have to mention that right away.
Make our producer happy, huh, Sam?
Yes, sir. Got to keep him happy. Lundqvist out to get the puck. Lifted ahead. Alex Pietrangelo knocked it down. That's a key man for St. Louis on defense. And we talk about McDonagh, and the Blues talk in the same glowing terms about Alex Pietrangelo.
Well, he led this team in assists a year ago, and he's also, one of those players that plays against the opposition's top players as well. Outstanding player.
Up ahead, Lee Stempniak, number 12, leading. Anthony Duclair is on the ice, making his NHL debut, wearing number 63. JT Miller is the center on that line. Shot by John Moore was stopped by Elliott. Given away by Lindstrom to Duclair, comes around the net, centers, and it's deflected off the skate. Nice play by Duclair, and a nice first shift in the NHL.
He looked comfortable. He made a couple of good plays. He was calm with the puck. He showed his speed, got the puck to the net. Good start for the kid.
Rangers' fourth line is on. Everyone has seen the ice. Tanner Glass, number 15, is the left wing. Jesper Fast is wearing number 19. He's playing the right wing. And Dominic Moore is the center. That's centered across for Steve Ott. Ott is tied up along the boards. Maxime Lapierre, number 40, the center on this line. Ryan Reeves, number 75, the other winger for the Blues. McDonough ahead for Glass. Leads Dominic Moore. Moore against Jay Bouwmeester. He's the Iron Man of the NHL. Long shot. He's played 718 consecutive games. That's amazing.
And you know who's in attendance, and that was on the ice. We're talking about St. Louis great, Gary Unger.
That's right.
Who had, how many games did he
Way
play
over 900.
Way up there until Doug Jarvis broke his record, right?
Here's Steen across. Girardi with the hit. Girardi moves it out. Brassard going for it. And Hitchcock telling us before the game he wanted to see if his team could keep up with the tempo that the Rangers play at, which he saw in preseason in the game against Chicago.
Yeah, in fact, that practice he had yesterday was all about tempo, playing at a high speed, and that's what he'd love to see in this one.
Backus, nice play by Rick Nash, brought in by Pietrangelo. He's checked there by Mark Stahl. The puck deep. Boyle checking Backus. Backus tried to get it to Oshie. The Rangers able to take it away. Kreider and Nash. Nash turns, his shot blocked. Nice play by Kreider. Gets it to Nash. He shoots. He scores! Rick Nash gets the Rangers on the board with the first goal of the season.
You know, Sam, you love to see that Rick Nash is trying to get shots right away. So right from the neutral zone, right side of your screen, here comes the shot, but it's blocked. But what an effort by Kreider, who dives, makes the play, then the pass right onto the stick to Nash. Here it is again, blocked. Look at this effort from Kreider. Reaches and now dives, knocks it right to Nash, and the quick shot just inside the post. And the Rangers calm this crowd a little bit. They take the excitement out and take the early lead.
I like that look of Kreider. Good effort by Chris Kreider to set it up. Rangers bring on Miller, Duclair, and Stepniak. Blues working it deep, and a shot by Lindstrom. Welcome Lindstrom, a new man from Sweden. That's deflected out of play. Pass intended for Duclair. Jared Backman got his stick on it. The goal is Rick Nash from Chris Kreider at 4:01.
Now, Sam, we've talked about a lot of players, Duclair being one of them, some of the other veterans on the team. Rick Nash has come into camp in much better physical condition. He put in a hard summer to get ready to play. And what we've seen out of him for the most part in camp, more of an effort to get to the front of the net, more of an effort to get shots on goal. So right away, he attempts one shot, block, gets it right back, and scores the first goal of the season.
Jesper Fast was jockeying with Steve Ott. Long shot is stopped by Brian Elliott, and he holds it. Jesper Fast is an interesting addition to the team. His defensive responsibilities, he's added offense, he skates very well. You're looking at Tanner Glass, who the Rangers signed as a free agent to be a fourth-line player, and he's another good addition. That fourth line could be very important.
Well, it is going to be important, Sam. You've got penalty killers on there. You've got some offense, as Foss has shown that he's improved in that area in the offseason. He's gotten a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. Glass will hit everybody if he can. And then you've got Dominic Moore, who can play a lot of different roles for this team.
Rangers scratching Ryan Malone, Kevin Hayes, and Matt Hunwick tonight. Tarasenko's pass across. Paul Stastny's pass blocked. Nice play by Girardi. Moved up ahead and cleared out by Zuccarello.
Tarasenko is a young player in this league to keep an eye on. He has the potential, with the way he shoots the puck, to be a 40-goal scorer in this league. Tremendous shooter.
McDonough pressured there by Tarasenko, number 91. Girardi trying to move it. Brassard dug it loose, and it's brought out by Hagelin. Plays it off the boards, wanted to play it to himself, and it actually hit the linesman in the skates. .520 gone by, first period. Rangers have the early lead. And a good play by Foss, kept it in the zone. Moore winds it around to Foss, gets it to Tanner Glass. Glass checked by Bouwmeester. Lapierre was tied up by Jesper Fast. And Tanner Glass able to play it. Moore with a shot, saved by Elliott. He holds it. Good work by the Rangers' fourth line, especially along the boards by Foston Glass. Tonight on MSG, Marty St. Louis opens up about joining the Rangers and the dramatic trip to the Stanley Cup Final on the Game 365, presented by Hager. Tonight after Rangers post-game coverage right here on MSG Network.
Yeah, it's a good start for the Rangers, obviously with the lead, but they've outshot St. Louis 6-1. They've defended very, very well in their end, and their quickness is really showing, and the way they're just so aggressive on the puck.
Defensive pair here is John Moore and Kevin Klein. Backus with a hard shove on Moore. Nice save by Lundqvist on the long shot by Cole. Rangers clear it out, and Berglund's back to get it. Up ahead for Backus. In the Rangers zone, played there by McDonough. He was hooked on the play by Cole, but nothing called. Pressure by TJ Oshie, who was McDonough's teammate on the U.S. Olympic team. Stempniak moves in. He shoots. Glove saved by Elliott. And the Rangers looking to shoot the puck quickly. Stempniak with a good chance. Rick Nash gets the Rangers started. First goal of the season. And the Rangers lead it 1-0. Good start to the game for the Rangers. Good start for us with John Giannone down between the benches. John.
Well, Sam, you used the word tempo, and it is so palpable down here how quick it is. Those first 5 minutes with almost no stoppages, unbelievable. And oftentimes you can tell just how impactful an assist is by how the team celebrates. When Chris Kreider came off the ice, he was congratulated almost more than the goal scorer Rick Nash was, especially by Marty St. Louis. Speaking of him, he'll be our guest between periods. If you have some questions, tweet them at the hashtag NYR, and some thoughts as well. You could tweet Ron Duguay and Brian Leach. They're back in the studio. Use the hashtag NYR as well, guys.
We'll look forward to that, John. Nice to have Brian Leach back with us.
Oh, it's great.
In the studio.
Absolutely. Welcome back.
Yes. And Ron Duguay back as well. Stempniak. That deflects across, and Lindstrom brings it out. Nice play by Dan Girardi. Rather by Kevin Klein, excuse me. He was paired with McDonough on that shift. Eric Jackman here for the Blues. Tarasenko moving it across. And chipped out of the zone. Dan Boyle did a good job forcing a turnover in the neutral zone. Brassard's pass taken away by Pietrangelo. And here's Alexander Steen. That's a good defensive play by Dan Boyle.
Well, the Rangers defense have made more plays with their stick, deflecting passes and shots.
Tarasenko moving in.
There's another one.
Again, a good play by Hagelin.
It's everybody. I mean, their stick work has been excellent here in the first. Another play.
Ian Cole lost it. It was played ahead by Paul Stastny. Rangers take it back. Zuccarello sends it deep. Pietrangelo with Kreider right on him. Marty St. Louis is the centerman on this line with Rick Nash on the right, Kreider on the left. Nash gets it to the line, and it was outside the zone. It's an offside on the Blues. Play stops. 8 minutes gone by. First period. Rangers a 1-0 lead. Saturday night on MSG. Game 2 of the season. Rangers and the Columbus Blue Jackets in Columbus. Live coverage begins at 6:30 with Visa Rangers game night. Rangers and Columbus Blue Jackets Saturday night on MSG Network. John Giannone and Joe Micheletti will have the call for you.
And you will be in sunshine Miami.
I have to go to Florida,
Sorry,
Joe.
yeah,
I just have to go.
Sorry you have to do that. By the way, Brandon Dubinsky out for Columbus with abdominal surgery, so they're expecting him to miss somewhere around 6 weeks. That's a big loss for Columbus.
Yes, sir. Columbus playing their season opener tonight. They have Ryan Johansson back. He's not in top shape yet, but at least they have him in the lineup.
That'll be interesting, Sam, to see what kind of season he has after missing training camp. I mean, a lot of these players that miss camp, they have a tough time getting going. Some of them never catch up until the following season.
John Moore able to take it, fire it out of the zone. This will be an icing on the Rangers. 8:39 gone by here in the first. Still only 2 shots on goal for the Blues.
Now, the Rangers defensively have really done a good job at deflecting pucks and sticks, and that man right there tried to get to the bench, Tanner Glass, and get off, but because of the icing, he had to come back on. So the Rangers are looking to try and win a face-off, clear the zone, so they can get a line change.
Dominic Moore, opposite Jari Lehtera from Finland.
You want to tell the story, or should I?
No, you tell
The
it.
correct pronunciation is Lehtera, which he told everybody that was the correct pronunciation. But he said, I want to pronounce like that guy over there. There's a reporter that called him Lehtera. He says, I like the way that sounds. So that's what we're going with.
Welcome to America.
Lehtera.
Lindstrom in on the forecheck for St. Louis, pressuring Mark Stahl. Boyle gave it away to Lehtera. Shot from the point was blocked by Nash. Another shot blocked by Stahl. Bouwmeester took the first shot. St. Louis trying to take it back. Off the boards. Jaden Schwartz saved by Lundqvist. Tough shot. Schwartz got open and had the good chance.
Jaden Schwartz missed the first 10 days of training camp because of a contract dispute. Then they got him re-signed. Meanwhile, the Rangers have it, they give it up, and then Rick Nash. We talk about defensively how the Rangers have blocked shots and passes. Look at that, Rick Nash sliding down, blocks that when it doesn't get there, and then Schwartz with the shot. And Lundqvist, good job holding on.
Brassard against Backus. Rangers able to clear it out. Hagelin is tied up along the boards.
Jaden Schwartz switched numbers from number 9 to number 17 in honor of his sister who died of leukemia back in 2011, his sister Mandy.
Petrangelo playing it across. Here's TJ Oshie. Fans got to know him from the Olympic team, taking the shootout shots. The guy they just talk about said he just loves to play the game. Petrangelo just past the midway point, first period. Here's Oshie dropping it off to Backus. That went off of Oshie. In the corner, Alexander Steen. The back pass out of the zone. McDonough against Steen. Steen tried to center, was knocked away. And Anthony Duclair, good pass to JT Miller. Miller puts it on net, steered away by Brian Elliott. The Blues ended last season with Ryan Miller as their goaltender. He signed with Vancouver. Brian Elliott takes over. Jake Allen is the number 2 man, but it's a close number 2. A lot of people think Jake Allen may wind up as the number 1 by the end of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Brian Elliott, how he plays now that he's the number 1 guy. He's been the backup, and he's had great numbers the last number of years.
Ott moves in. Saved by Lundqvist. Blues is starting to force some more turnovers last couple of shifts.
Yeah, their forecheck has become a little bit better, a little bit quicker.
Taken back by Shattenkirk. The New Rochelle product, number 22, U.S. Olympian, who has really gotten himself into super shape. We saw him this morning. He changed his workout routine, changed his diet. Puck around the boards. Long shot. Bangs off the glass. 8:15 to go in the first. Rangers a 1-0 lead. John Moore plays it away. Bouwmeester tied up there by Jesper Fast. And Jaden Schwartz takes over. Lundqvist out to get it.
Sam, interesting listening to Ken Hitchcock before the game tell us about, what he considers the most important part of his team, the defense.
Brassard with a shot that misses wide.
He says needs to play better. We were thinking it was probably goaltending where all the question marks is. He said, no. He said, we have to do a better job at checking. I mean, most people think this defense is real good.
Brassard with a takeaway, tried to get it to Hagelin, but it was tipped away. And the Blues able to clear out. Nice play by Zuccarello. Paul Stastny able to get it to Pietrangelo. Tarasenko's shot that went off Girardi. McDonough moves it to Dan Girardi.
It's Dan. Speaking of Hall of Famers, Peter Stastny, the father of Paul, is here tonight.
driving to the net. Kreider, a save by Elliott. Strong move by Kreider, that time on the right side. This Kreider's got a chance to be a real big-time player for this Rangers team.
He's got a little different look to him this year.
Nash, saved by Elliott. Good passing by the Rangers. St. Louis setting up Nash. Elliott with a glove save. 6:55 to go in the first. Rangers lead.
Rangers lead here in the first period. The shots on goal also favor the Rangers 10-4. Here's part of the reason why St. Louis has just 4. Look at that play by Kevin Klein with the stick. And then how about there, the diving play by Brassard up in the neutral zone. Here's another play. Mark Stahl stepping up and doing a good job disrupting plays. Dan Boyle, good job with the stick. Clear it the other way. So from the Rangers standpoint defensively, Sam, they've been real strong here in the first.
Miller, Duclair, and Stempniak on for the Rangers with John Moore and Kevin Klein. Backus swings it around for Backman. And offside whistle on the play. Jordan Leopold stick handling at the line. The Blues going ahead of the play.
Yeah, that was John Moore this time that stood up and at the blue line and forced a defensive play. John Moore played last season at about 208 pounds. He decided prior to last season to get a little bit lighter. And he said at the end of the season, though, it affected him negatively. He didn't think he had as much strength and energy as he needed. So he put on 6 pounds of muscle in the offseason. He's at 214.
Reeves with a takeaway as John Moore lost sight of the puck, but Reeves missed. And that long shot, Lundqvist makes the save and holds on. And after the whistle, we've got everybody gathering around.
Now, this is the line for St. Louis. Reeves is big and strong and tough. And then you've got a line that plays with a lot of grit and determination.
And we know Ott.
Steve Ott loves to not only yap, but he gets in the middle. But this time John Moore has it, but he just misses the puck. That allows Reeves to get that chance and just fires it over the net. And they go to the net. Good job by the Rangers. See all 5 players come in to help Lundqvist. I mean, Reeves, big and strong. Look at this. That's great work. Tanner Glass gets in there. Moore gets in there. Nice job.
You were talking about Moore, Joe. The thing about John Moore is that the strength that he's added, I think, allows him to play more physically. And you saw that on that play right in front of the net.
Oh, for sure.
Brassard with the lead for Hagelin. 2-on-1 is broken up. Shot by Zuccarello. A save by Elliott. It's cleared away.
Well, what a save. Outstanding save by Brian Elliott.
It looked like the play was broken up, and Zuccarello stayed with it and got a good chance. Boyle with a nice reversal of Mark Stahl. Just under 6 minutes to go in the first. Rangers a 1-0 lead on a goal by Rick Nash. Kreider after the puck against Pietrangelo. Spun around. St. Louis, the back pass off the boards. Girardi's got it to McDonough. Wrist shot toward the net. Save. Kreider looking for the rebound, but Elliott able to cover up. Oh, good action. Good pace to this game. 5:40 left in the first. 1-0 Rangers.
That's a look at the dangerous Vladimir Tarasenko. He's got a tremendous shot. You'll see him around the net. And here's Shattenkirk, the New Rochelle kid. Ends up with the shot. Lundqvist to save, and then Mark Stahl helps out in front. Rangers do a good job. Now they go the other way. And here's the pass, and a quick shot by Zuccarello, and that right leg of Brian Elliott kicks out, makes a good save.
Rangers with 12 shots on goal. The Blues 6. No penalties thus far in the game. That shooting hit McDonough. And he seems to be okay. Up around the boards and out of the zone. And Cole back to get it. A giveaway to McDonough. To Kreider to McDonough. Saved by Elliott.
Wow. What a play by McDonough to read that, anticipate where the pass was going, and then Elliott again. Boy, he's made 2 great saves here in the last minute.
Rangers getting some good chances. Lee Stempniak, originally a draft pick of the St. Louis Blues back in 2003. Duclair was shoved hard to the boards by Ian Cole. Boyle off the boards to J.T. Miller. Miller's shot close, saved by Elliott, and he holds it.
Well, we've seen McDonough make defensive plays in this game, but watch him top left of your screen, how he anticipates. There it is. Sees the puck coming, steps up, makes the play, and then gets the return pass and the shot. And again, Brian Elliott with that right pad makes a key save.
Jim Corsi, who used to be in Buffalo, is now the goaltending coach here in St. Louis. And that could be a very valuable addition.
I agree with you, Sam. And I think the other thing with Elliott, again, his numbers over the last 3 years have been tremendous. Shutouts, save percentage, goals against average, but he hasn't been the number one. He's getting a chance now, and thus far in the first period, I think he's been real good.
Rangers 14 shots on goal, 4:31 remaining in the first period.
And Duclair has had a good first period, don't you think?
Very nice start to his NHL career.
He does not look nervous. He's getting the puck, and he's not. A lot of times when you're a young kid, the puck comes to you and you're just going to get rid of it because you don't want to make a mistake. That hasn't been the case here in the first period with Duclair.
As folks are watching at home, they will be in New York to see the game Sunday night.
Right.
Madison Square Garden regular season debut. Boyle had trouble with it, but put it in the zone. Here's Tarasenko, met by Stahl. And Stahl sweeps it away. Dan Boyle around, kept in by Bouwmeester, give it away to Boyle.
Well, when Boyle gets the puck, you have to be ready to receive a pass because he gets rid of it quickly.
Tarasenko tried to make a move on Stahl, who poke checked it away. Brassard fires wide of the net. Shattenkirk sending it out to center. Good job by Girardi stepping up. McDonough tipped ahead by Jesper Fast. Glass after it. Fast is there. Jackson able to move it to Jordan Leopold. The Blues will get Carl Gunnarsson fairly soon, and will add to their defensive depth.
Now they traded Roman Polak to Toronto for Gunnarsson, who's out probably another 10 days.
Backhanded by Dominic Moore is gloved by Elliott, and he holds on with 3:26 to go.
Now we talked about Duclair in the first period. He's made plays with the puck. He's also gotten involved. He gets hit there hard from behind by Cole, and then he gets to the bench and says, "This hand is bothering me a little bit." Takes a little look at that. I think he'll miss a shift.
Rangers have had the last 5 shots on goal. Outlet for Oshie. He was stopped by McDonough. Nash able to play it back to Girardi. Knocked down by Backes. Oshie's pass deflected into the corner. Girardi finds Nash. Nice play.
Pass. Yeah, real good.
Tight quarters. This will be an icing on the Blues. 2:59 remaining in this first period. Blue Shirts fans, secure your pass to Rangerstown. Individual tickets are available for upcoming games. For great seats, be sure to visit NewYorkRangers.com. And there's some good games coming up. Toronto on Sunday. The Islanders on Tuesday. How about that?
I think they're a better team this year. They made some real good additions. They'll be more formidable for sure. Carolina Thursday, San Jose Sunday.
Oshie, nice pass. Cole tried to pass. He was in deep on the backhand and didn't feel he had a shot. Jaden Schwartz back for it.
Cole's a defenseman, Sam. Cole's a defenseman. Sometimes they get in that position. He's not really an offensive defenseman, even though he joined the rush. So
Oshie able to get it deep into the Rangers zone. Stahl puts it in the corner. Schwartz centers. Backhander blocked. Nice play by Stempniak. Let's see. He might have gotten a penalty. He got to Laterra and tied him up on the chance, but took a penalty. First penalty of the game.
Well, he made a real good defensive play, too, just prior to that. Again, part of the theme for the Rangers has been blocking shots, blocking passes. Meanwhile, Stempniak, there he goes, does a nice job there, and then the takedown. So the first penalty and first power play goes to St. Louis on the Stempniak penalty.
Referees tonight are Chris Rooney and Kyle Raymond. Brad Kovacic and Brian Murphy are the linesmen.
And as we saw, the young two-player, he'll get a lot of coaching as long as he's with this team, as Scott Arniel was helping him out on the bench.
Dominic Moore and Carl Hagelin, Ryan McDonough and Dan Girardi, the penalty killers, trying to break through. Paul Stastny, pass blocked by McDonough. Hagelin, out it goes. Under 2 minutes remaining in the first period. Blues power play. Stempniak for hooking at 17:35.
Now, Sam, this is another area, too, for the Rangers to have to make adjustments, because, the loss of Derek Stepan affects every aspect of the Rangers. The power play, the penalty killing, number one center, the line combinations. Who's playing center? Like Marty St. Louis, generally a wing, has to play center. So they really miss his presence in the lineup.
Pietrangelo sending it around the boards. Dan Boyle on with Mark Stahl. Matt Zuccarello and Derek Brassard. Stahl trying to take it away. Laterra gets it back to the point to Pietrangelo. Now Laterra with a shot blocked in front by Stahl. Clears to the side. Pietrangelo is there. 35 seconds left in the power play. Under a minute to go in the period. And the Rangers able to force the puck out of the zone.
How about that work by Brassard?
TJ Oshie gets knocked down by McDonough. Fans react. They wanted a call on the play. And the Rangers able to clear. Dominic Moore back on, pressuring Bouwmeester. 10 seconds to go in the Blues power play. Excellent penalty kill thus far for the Rangers. Look at the aggressive play of Hagelin. Now Moore. And the power play is over.
Can't get out of their end.
Berglund moves in for St. Louis. That's fought off by Lundqvist. Makes a rebound save on Lindstrom. Lundqvist's stick is down behind the net, but breaking down is Stempniak. He shoots, saved by Elliott. He looked behind him. The puck drops loose, and he covered it up. Stempniak with a good shot.
Boy, what a job of penalty killing by the Rangers. And then when Stempniak gets out of the penalty box, he just turns on the speed. Here's a quick wrist shot. He's got talent. Stempniak can skate, can shoot, can pass the puck. And he lets it go quickly. Elliott's been solid here in the first period. Made the save, but didn't know where it was. You can see it was directly in front of him, and then got a little help as Stempniak continued to head to the net.
Blues had no shots on goal on that power play. Don't forget, coming up, our intermission report. John Giannone will have Marty St. Louis as his special guest. We've got Brian Leetch and Ron Duguay back in the studio. Bill Peto's got the Audi 150. It's all coming up on the Delta Intermission Report. And Joe, I know it's only one period. You need to play three, but the Rangers played a good first period.
We kept on hearing in the preseason about how the coaches like the work ethic, and that's what the Rangers showed in this first period. 16 shots to 8. Their stick work defensively was really good. Lundqvist had to make a few saves when he had to, and then they generated plenty of offenses. They could have had more than one goal in the first.
16 shots for the Rangers in that first period. Delta Intermission Report is coming up. Marty St. Louis and John Giannone. Brian Leetch rejoining the MSG team will be in the studio with Ron Duguay and Bill Pito. It's all coming up on the Delta Intermission Report. Stay with us. Good start to the new season. Rangers come out skating well, playing strong defensively, getting the goal by Rick Nash. End of the first period, Rangers lead it 1-0. We are back in St. Louis getting set for the second period. Rangers and St. Louis Blues Thursday night hockey is presented by Ram Trucks. Time for our Cadillac trivia question. First of the season, Joe. Henrik Lundqvist, third goalie in Rangers history to start 9 consecutive season openers. Who are the other two?
I'm just going to go Richter and Jockerman. How about that?
I'm going to go Van Beesbrook and Jockerman. Go Worsley. We forgot the Gumper. All right.
Both here.
We both got Jockerman.
Oh, you got Jockerman? Did you mention
yeah.
him? Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I'm surprised you missed the first one of the year.
Half right. Underway, second period. Give me your thoughts. What do you think what to look for in the second
Well,
period?
I think we're going to try and see St. Louis come out with a little bit more jump to try and put some more pressure on. I just thought that the Rangers played so well defensively that they prevented St. Louis from carrying the puck over the blue line into the zone like they do here.
Rangers opening with Brassard, Zuccarello, and Hagelin. That deflects on goal, a save by Lundqvist, and pounding at it was Paul Stastny. He got knocked down by Ryan McDonagh.
Yeah, Ken Hitchcock told us before the game that he wanted to have the type of game where they don't have a lot to go over in the morning when it comes to practice. I'm sure he didn't like that first period. This is a good first shift by St. Louis. Paul Stastny going hard to the net, not giving up on a loose puck. Rangers trying to get him out of there, so it's a good first shift by St. Louis to start the second period.
Ryan McDonagh has been strong in front of his net thus far in this game.
He's going to win the Norris. Did I tell you that?
you put it on the board.
We only have to wait another 81 and a half games.
Out goes Dominic Moore. Tanner Glass in for the face-off. Moore, Glass, and Fost on for the Rangers with Stahl and Boyle. Jaden Schwartz taken away by Glass.
St. Louis was dominant in the face-off in that first period, though. So that's one area of the game where they were certainly the better team.
Dominic Moore was the only guy who did anything for the Rangers in the face-off circle. He won 5 of 5. The rest of the centermen were 2 and 13.
Marty St. Louis told us this morning, first thing he wants to do is win a face-off. Well, you're going to have to wait until this period. 0 for 4 in the first period. But again, it's an area that you wouldn't expect him to be a dominating player in that area.
Lindstrom checked along the boards by Fost. In deep is Ian Cole. Again, Jesper Fost battling. Fost has come to camp. He's bigger, he's stronger, and really comfortable on the ice after the experience he got last year.
That was a dangerous block. It was a great block by Fost, but he's hurt.
He's still hurting, yeah.
He was a little bit off balance. Still felt he needed to go down and block the shot, and it nearly hit him in the head, and he caught it up high. It looked to me in the chest. He's
gone to the bench where he's doubled over. Meanwhile, play continues. Dan Boyle with TJ Oshie chasing him. Kreider chips it out of the zone. Blues come right back in. That's kicked out in front. Kreider plays it to the Rangers, called for a penalty. Blues get their second power play of the game.
This will be a holding penalty, and meanwhile, there's the pain. You can see Fost on the beautiful block. Here's the penalty behind here's the block of the shot. You can just see he was off balance. It's a strange way to try and block a shot. He's actually on his knees facing the shooter. And so he was just a little off balance. Catches that in the left forearm, it looked like. And Jim Ramsey attending to him on the bench.
Marty St. Louis called for holding. Second power play of the game, both for the St. Louis Blues. They set up David Backes in front against Dan Girardi. Kevin Shattenkirk moves it ahead, gets it back from Tarasenko. Rangers have Hagelin and Moore, Dominic Moore. Tarasenko got knocked down.
He's getting a penalty also.
All right. Hagelin's going and Tarasenko is going.
Yeah, they're giving Tarasenko unsportsmanlike, I believe, for diving. And so both players end up. Here's the play again. Tarasenko. Hagelin does a good job. Tarasenko loses the puck and down he goes. And right away you could see Hagelin react, turning, saying, hey, wait a second, you should be calling one on him. And it wasn't an immediate call. Hagelin just didn't see the referee point to both players. It remains a 5-on-4 advantage for the Blues. Rangers have Girardi and McDonagh with Dominic Moore taking the face-off here, and Tanner Glass as the penalty killers. McDonagh swings it around again. Moore wins a face-off. Rangers clear the puck. Oh, he's been great. St. Louis went for a holding at 2:10, and then the coincidental minors to
Hagelin and Tarasenko.
You know what? Fost is one of their key penalty killers. He remains on the bench in a lot of pain. He's getting up now. I think he's going to the Ranger locker room.
Yeah, with medical trainer Jim Ramsey.
Yeah, he sure is. He's in a lot of pain.
Alexander Steen across. Shattenkirk shot blocked. Play deep to Paul Stastny. And across. Steen's pass off the skate. Recovered. Stastny. Shattenkirk, wrist shot, gloved by Lundqvist. He holds it. Pretty save. And Backes gets up. He's upset, I believe, with Girardi. It looked like he wanted to get Girardi.
Well, the two of them were going at it in front of the net. Of course, Backes is trying to screen the goaltender. Of course, Girardi is trying to get Backes out of there so he can't screen Lundqvist. And it was quite the battle going on between the two of them. Lundqvist was able to fight through, but here's what was happening in front of him. Lundqvist is looking around Backes, and then right at the end, Girardi with one final shot. Backes didn't like it. Girardi says, that's the way it is. You want to come to the front of the net? That's the way you're supposed to play. Two big, strong guys battling for position.
49 seconds remaining in the St. Louis power play. We're early second period. Again, a face-off win. And the Rangers able to clear. This time, the face-off win by Brassard. Brassard and Nash are on for the Rangers, with Dan Boyle and Mark Stahl. Take away by Nash. Good play. The puck deflected out of play. And the Blues are calling for a penalty for the Rangers, shooting it directly into the stands.
Dan Boyle.
And Dan Boyle is going off, and the Blues will have a two-man advantage for 28 seconds.
There it is again. Dan Boyle brings it back, and then there it is, just inside his own blue line. Now, I don't think the ice has been great here. You can tell the puck has been bouncing an awful lot. Sometimes it happens early in the season before they get the ice in tip-top shape, but that was clearly a penalty against Boyle.
Here is a crucial point of the game right here. 5-on-3. Steen. Shattenkirk moves it down. Rangers have McDonough and Girardi with Dominic Moore. Down low. Oshie's pass went by Backes. Steen in to get it. McDonough on him. McDonough stays with him. Oshie centers. Nice play by Girardi. Double team. What a play to get it to Moore. And he couldn't clear. Kept in by Steen. Steen works his way down. Gave it away. Dominic Moore with a great effort to force the turnover.
That was a tremendous effort by Moore not to give up on the play. Stop, start, stay after him, force the turnover, and then get some help from Girardi, who's had a real good shift.
It's back to a 5-on-4. Jaden Schwartz moves in. Back to Jay Bouwmeester in deep. Laterra back to Bouwmeester. Now to Laterra. Double team by Glass and Klein. Klein and Stahl on with Stempniak and Glass for the Rangers. Played there by Laterra. Now Jaden Schwartz. Back pass. The point was vacated by Bouwmeester.
Boy, Jaden Schwartz looks around like, wait a second, isn't somebody supposed to be there?
Yeah.
The pressure by the Rangers is giving the Blues problems.
Nash and Brassard on. Nash aggressive on the forecheck. Turnover.
That's another one, Sam. I mean, just they're forcing the Blues into plays before they want to make them.
35 seconds to go in the Blues power play. Brassard tried to get to the puck. Elliott was able to move it around the boards.
Starting to hear the fans get on the home team a little bit.
Marty St. Louis is on with Matt Zuccarello. McDonough and Girardi. Lindstrom sends it deep. Lundqvist winds it to Zuccarello. Out it goes. Outstanding penalty killing by the Rangers. That's a big part.
I'm thinking the only shot they got was the one where Backes was involved in front of the net, and Lundqvist made the glove save. I don't think he's had to face another shot.
That's it. That's the only shot on goal. Round the boards. Leopold couldn't keep it in. And the Rangers have killed it off back at full strength. A tremendous penalty kill by the Rangers. 28-second, two-man disadvantage. Rangers maintain a 1-0 lead. Now let's see if they can generate some offense after the strong defensive play. 6:10 gone by in the second. Nice play by McDonough at the blue line. Zuccarello, saved by Elliott. The rebound pumped in the air, almost went behind him. Stempniak took a hit.
Sam, I think he got the blocker glove on it the second time when it popped in the air.
JT Miller on with Zuccarello and Stempniak. Stempniak, good pass. Miller moves in. Miller circles, finds Klein open. Big drive goes wide. Stempniak trying to get to the rebound. Played by Barrett Jackman. Stahl. Outlets for Duclair. Anthony Duclair hit by Barrett Jackman. Able to work it deep. JT Miller battles Ian Cole. Blues break out. Stastny's pass to TJ Oshie. Excuse me, that was Berglund with a pass. Chance, save by Lundqvist. Backus coming in from the right side. At the point, Cole, wrist shot, saved by Lundqvist. Rebound into the corner. Nash against Oshie. Good play by Boyle to get it to JT Miller.
Well, what a save by Lundqvist. Backus was able to get the shot right off the pass. And Lundqvist moved from his right to the left post to make the look like an arm save.
Played by Dan Boyle. Chris Kreider trying to clear it out. Stopped by Backus. Long shot off the chest of Lundqvist. Blues have controlled the play here in the second period. Nash tried to get it through St. Louis. The Rangers have been able to ward it off with good defense on the penalty kill and good goaltending from Lundqvist. That's centered. A penalty upcoming.
Yeah, against St. Louis.
Zuccarello got his stick broken, and the Rangers will get their first power play of the season. Looks like Ryan Reeves may go off. 8:08 gone by in the second. Elliott with a save.
Well, there's Matt Zuccarello here coming in to defend. And you just watch what happens as he takes his man to the net. And if I can clear the circle off of there, it's eventually, and as we're doing that, he draws a penalty. It should be a 5-on-3 with my finger work.
Oh, I see. Reeves for slashing at 8:08. Rangers' first power play of the season. Brassard, Nash, Zuccarello, Stempniak, and Boyle for the power play. 4 forwards. Dan Boyle, the defenseman, at the point. And this Rangers power play is brought to you by Volkswagen. Interesting that the Rangers like Lee Stempniak at the point.
Well, he's had some experience there, so they know that he's had the experience back there. Plus, they're trying to get a feel for what exactly he can do for this team and how well he can do it. So they've got him back there with Dan Boyle, who doesn't mind playing either the left side or the right side. And Stempniak has a good shot.
Zuccarello pressured by Backus. Backus and Alexander Steen on for St. Louis. Now they change. 8.5 minutes gone by. Second period. Rangers leading 1-0. First period goal by Rick Nash. Stempniak winds it around for Brassard. Taken away by Ott. He was hit by Zuccarello. Penalty called on Zuccarello on the hit from behind. And here they go.
I think Ott helped it out a little bit, and the referee that was right on top of the play let it go. He was 10 feet away and didn't make the call. And the referee that was out at the red line in center ice made the call.
Kyle Raymond.
I thought Ott helped the play. That was my initial reaction to what I saw. And as has been the case before, I might be totally wrong. So we'll see.
Zuccarello heading off.
There's the play again.
I think he hit him in the numbers, Joe.
Okay, I thought it was a mediocre call, but that's just me.
LaPierre came in to challenge. And we got a little wrestling going on. Now let's see. LaPierre went off as well.
I think it's
Ott went off.
Yeah, no, Ott's there. And this is probably, I believe it's what happened after the whistle and after the penalty was called. We'll wait to get a clarification.
So it looks like it will remain a Rangers power play. Discussion continuing at the scorer's table. It remains a 5-on-4 advantage for the Rangers for a minute 27. So Rangers get a break out of that as the Blues reacted and took a penalty after the Zuccarello hit. Dan Boyle on the puck. Long lead. Kreider moves in. Pass across, tipped away. Out to McDonough. McDonough and Boyle at the points. Kreider, Duclair, and St. Louis up front. Here's Anthony Duclair. Nice pass to McDonough. Saved by Elliott. Kreider to off the post. St. Louis hit the post. Nice pass from Kreider. That's deflected by Duclair on goal as he was skating high in the slot. Nice little deflection.
Boy, yeah, no, good play by Duclair. First of all, to get the puck back to McDonough for the shot. Here's the shot, and now this little behind-the-back pass was a beauty to St. Louis, who had some time and space and just rifles it off the near side post. By the way, Ott did get unsportsmanlike conduct for taking a dive.
All right, then you were right on the call.
Thanks for letting me borrow your jersey this early.
St. Louis to take the face-off while he was practicing that shot from the bottom of the circle all morning, and he rang it off the post. Good effort by St. Louis along the boards. Blues try to clear, they do. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Lundqvist leaves it for McDonough. Long pass ahead to Kreider. Kreider checked by Bouwmeester, who tapped it away. St. Louis got it. Pass blocked and cleared out. He tried to get it across to Dan Boyle. Lundqvist out to stop it. 20 seconds to go on the power play. McDonough pressured on the play. Good effort by Steen. Rangers have it back. Hagelin. He gets tripped up by Backes. Backes with a shot that's deflected by McDonough up into the crowd. I thought Backes might have gotten away with a trip there.
Well, so did the Ranger players. In fact, they both, few of the Rangers players mentioned something to Raymond. Here's the turnover. Good job by Steen. And then here's the play there. It looked like he got tripped down by Backes. Took his feet out from under him. No call. And then McDonough recovered nicely to deflect the shot over the glass.
9 seconds to go in the power play. 10:01 to go in the second period. Rangers a 1-0 lead. Paul Stastny and Dominic Moore. Moore wins another one. John Moore there to play it. Leads away from Paul Stastny. Girardi outlets to Dominic Moore. Teams are back at full strength. Played there by Jordan Leopold. Rangers take it back. Moore is there. Tanner Glass. Moore digging, trying to poke it loose. And the Blues able to come out with it. Ryan Reeves dumps it down the boards. Reeves, Girardi is there. Bumps him, Reeves stays with it.
Dan Foss back on the ice for the Rangers.
Ah, there's a good sign. Pass blocked. Nice play by Girardi. Rangers have Moore, Glass, and Foss, the fourth line out. 9 minutes to go in the second. Cole up ahead for Stastny. Oshie taken away by JT Miller. Good play coming back. Oshie behind the net. Falls down. Berglund's got it. Out to Backes. Long shot. Saved by Lundqvist. Late reaction. May have been screened in front by Oshie.
Yeah, Oshie and Girardi battling for position in front. Good save.
Back the other way. TJ Oshie moves in. Shot blocked. Another shot deflected away. Boy, Girardi has been good on defense for the Rangers.
He's been terrific.
Berglund into the corner. Backes. McDonough able to move it. JT Miller to Stepniak. Stepniak to Miller. The deflection was blocked by Cole. Blues turn it. Backes on the puck. Kevin Klein is there. Pokes it away. Offside Blues. 8:09 to go. Second period. Rangers defense and goaltending. Outstanding. Numbers from last year. Average time on the ice tonight. +1. 2 shots, 2 block shots.
That average ice time led all San Jose players a year ago. And the thing to keep in mind, he didn't kill penalties last year either.
Right.
Or about halfway through the prior season.
Lindstrom was checked by Stahl. Jaden Schwartz with St. Louis on him. Along the boards, Kevin Klein for the Rangers. Lindstrom working against Stahl. Played back by Shattenkirk to Laterra. Off the boards to Schwartz. Now Laterra with a shot saved by Lundqvist, and he's got it. 7:34 to go here in the second.
Well, we talked about the Blues offense and lack thereof in the playoffs. Laterra was another player that was signed. He was originally a Blues draft pick and then stayed in the KHL. And he ran into Doug Armstrong, the GM of St. Louis, at the Olympics and told Doug, he said, "I made a mistake. I should have come and played for you." And he was still under contract in the KHL, Sam. He had to pay his way out of that contract, and the rumors are he paid $1 million to get out of it, that he could sign a new deal here in St. Louis.
I guess he wanted out, Joe, huh?
Yeah, sure did. He's making just under $3 million with the Blues.
Brassard, Hagelin, and Zuccarello. Steal by Brassard. Drop to Hagelin. The behind-the-back feed for Zuccarello. Little too fancy that time of the Rangers. I don't think Alain Vigneault will like that kind of play.
Well, you know, it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment for Hagelin to play with these players. In fact, he's never played on a line with Zuccarello since they've been teammates. And so again, they're trying to find someone that will fill that role that was vacated by Pouliot when he signed the free agent contract with Edmonton.
Blues whistle for icing with 6:51 remaining. October 24th, Spike Lee and MSG present a special inside look at Knicks basketball with Derek Fisher and Phil Jackson. What is the triangle offense? A Spike Lee orange and blue skies joint. October 24th after Knicks Raptors on MSG Network. Nash's pass tipped away. Sent in by Tarasenko. Lundqvist moves it. Marty St. Louis carries in, lost control, and Jackman able to turn it for St. Louis. Ott was stopped by Nash. Oshie fires it deep. Stahl back to get it. Oshie on him. Stahl and Klein the defensive pair. Jackman keeps in for St. Louis. Stahl goes to get it. Now Kevin Klein. Klein gives Alain Vigneault and Ulf Samuelsson a lot of maneuverability with his ability to play in different roles defensively.
It might be as good a third pair of defense as there is in the league.
Lundqvist around to John Moore. Tanner Glass able to chip it ahead, and it's picked up by Dominic Moore. Glass after the puck. Nice play. Down comes John Moore to get it. Glass behind the net, checked there by Jordan Leopold. Jesper Fast looking for it. Blues move it up the boards. Dan Boyle and Dominic Moore. That shot deflected up into the netting. 5:26 to go, second period. Rangers with a 1-0 lead.
John Giannone back in St. Louis. You look at Alain Vigneault. You know, a couple minutes ago, we saw the players, the Rangers players, make a turnover at the offensive blue line. That's happened 2 or 3 times in the second period. Vigneault has grown increasingly dissatisfied with that. And during that last timeout, Carl Hagelin went to the Rangers bench, and Alain Vigneault was not as angry with him as he was, just very persistent, saying more north-south, less east-west, especially from that line of Brassard, Zuccarello, and Hagelin guys, which is very creative.
Yeah, good stuff, John. 3 shots only for the Rangers in this period.
Thanks, John. Icing whistled against the Blues. You heard the loud roar as we came back from commercial. Members of the St. Louis Cardinals are here, and they've advanced to the National League Championship Series against the San Francisco Giants. Yadier Molina, the catcher, is there.
4 straight years for them.
Yeah, in the National Championship Series. That's right. Hey,
quite a franchise.
Well, the Blues want to find out their magical formula, what they do in the playoffs.
Everybody does.
Good hit by JT Miller. Tarasenko moving in 2-on-1. Saved by Lundqvist, a beauty. Centered and deflected toward the net, but blocked by Girardi. Tarasenko's pass down low, goes into the corner. Rangers able to chip it clear. Stempniak gets it out of the zone. Stempniak, Miller, and Duclair the line for the Rangers. Laterra plays it back. Shattenkirk moves it to Bouwmeester. And sent in by Jaden Schwartz. 4.5 minutes to go, second period. A goal by Rick Nash in the first period, the only goal of the game. Zuccarello knocked down by Lindstrom, and then Girardi took down one of the Blues with a hip check. And here we go, it's heated up. Paul Stastny, he's still on his knees.
Yeah, that was Steen actually that went after Girardi. And so they're trying to keep all this under control. Boy, wouldn't that be a devastating blow to the Blues. Paul Stastny now up on his feet.
Started with Zuccarello being knocked down along the boards. Stastny's being helped to the locker room, not putting any weight on his left leg. Now he's limping pretty noticeably as he goes down the hallway.
Yeah, he was telling us this morning this new environment, new players, just trying to get going. Meanwhile, this place starts with Zuccarello to hit, and then you saw, there it is again. Oh, you saw Dan Girardi trying to lean in to his left, and Stastny trying to avoid the hit, and it looked like a knee-to-knee hit. And that's where Steen jumped in. Tarasenko as well.
Now they looking to sort out the penalties here. Ken Hitchcock looks on.
Well, it's been a different period than the first period.
Oh, totally different.
St. Louis has been much more aggressive. We've seen almost the entire period being played on the special teams. That's one reason that the Rangers have been shorthanded an awful lot in this period. That's one reason their shot total is down. And for Dan Girardi, just 2 minutes. Meanwhile, here's Zuccarello gets hit hard there. And then there you see Girardi come over.
That was Lindstrom on the hit on Zuccarello. Zuccarello's helmet popped off.
Well, just the one penalty. That's to Jan Girardi.
So the Rangers shorthanded. 2 minutes for tripping. 2 minutes for tripping is the call. And it's cleared out. Moore and Hagelin on for the Rangers with Stahl and Klein. 15:38 the time of the penalty. The Blues are 0 for 3 on the power play in the game. Laterra moves in. Checked there by Klein. Around the boards. Shattenkirk to Steen. That's deflected toward the net. Knocked down. Stahl with a good effort to force the puck into the corner against Oshie. Stahl gets it to Klein. Tarasenko there. Dominic Moore trying to clear, knocked down. That was a good play by Laterra, and a penalty call.
On Laterra.
Interference.
Laterra made the play, knocking the puck out of mid-ice or out of mid-air. And then he interfered with Hagelin as Hagelin tried to go around him.
So that ends the power play. You can hear the fan reaction. 1:10 remaining in the Girardi penalty.
He made a real good play the first time, and then right there, knocks it down. He'll move the puck, and there you see him interfere with Hagelin. You have to leave that player alone. Any type of contact at all, you leaving your lane and going towards the player, it's almost an automatic call for these officials.
So the team skate 4 aside, and provided there are no other penalties, Rangers will get a 50-second power play when Dan Girardi returns. Nash, St. Louis, John Moore, and Ryan McDonough for the Rangers. 4-on-4. Bouwmeester in deep for St. Louis. Now Backus. Backus with Jaden Schwartz. Deflected away. Nice play by McDonough. St. Louis drops it back. Got hit. Rangers move out. John Moore on the puck. Moore fakes the shot. Moves it against Pietrangelo. Centers, and it's tipped away. Blues break out. McDonough's back. 2-on-1 St. Louis. Jaden Schwartz. Pass went by Berglund.
Too high, went over his stick.
And tried the home run pass for Nash, but it was intercepted by Pietrangelo. Here's Jaden Schwartz. Quick pass in the middle is intercepted by Nash, and he's able to clear it out.
See, that's
Backman back for it.
Pardon me, Sam. Part of the learning process for John Moore. When he's short-handed and then and with a 4-on-4 takes the puck in deep, you can't throw it out to the slot because you're already in deep.
Brassard moves in, shoots wide. Moved in with Zuccarello. Rangers power play. 45 seconds to go on the man advantage. 2:10 to go in the second period. 1-0 Rangers. Steve Ott for St. Louis with a puck. Boyle trying to poke it loose, does, but the Blues have it. Backus on. Deep for Ott. Try to center, was blocked. Dan Boyle takes over. Boyle and Girardi on the ice with Brassard. And McDonough still on. So the Rangers had 3 defensemen on momentarily on this power play.
Well, when Girardi came out of the penalty box, he had to go back into his own zone and stay there until they had a chance to change.
Final seconds of the man advantage. JT Miller tries to the net, pass across. Was too far for Kreider and cleared all the way down. That does it for the power play. Rangers no shots on goal with a man advantage. They're 0 for 2 on the power play in the game, but maintain a 1-0 lead. Stempniak stopped by Schwartz, shot by Stahl, saved by Elliott. Only the 4th shot on goal for the Rangers in this period. Kreider with 1:10 to go in the second. Pietrangelo lost it to Miller. Finds Girardi with a wrister that's blocked by Schwartz. In deep, Stempniak finds Stahl, shot blocked. Blues trying to break out. Stempniak hustles back. Good play by Lee Stempniak. Miller with a pass deflected. In front, shot wide by Mark Stahl, and then he got knocked down. Shot by Girardi, deflects to the corner. 45 seconds to go in the period. Kreider down low. That pass for Stempniak missed. Boy, Miller, Stahl is in deep. He's had an active shift. That was Miller, excuse me. Miller's made a couple of good offensive plays. Long lead for Tarasenko. Saved by Lundqvist. 20 seconds to go in the period. Trying to hit the long pass. Picked up by Tanner Glass. Lost control. Fires wide. Up the boards. It's cleared out of the zone. Clyde back for it. Just off the bench. Ott dropped it back. Backhander went wide. All of a sudden, Ott was all alone on the change. With the Blues bench, he jumped right onto the offensive zone.
Yeah, they made a mistake by not having a man on the ice, and so that's why he jumped on, and there was no one coming to the bench.
Wow. Take a breath. The Blues outshot the Rangers 8-4 in the period. But there's no scoring in the second.
Here's the play again. Now you see St. Louis only has 4 players on the ice. They should have 5. Where's the 5th? There he is. He comes off the bench with no one going there. That's Steve Ott. And nearly turns that into a pretty good scoring chance.
Kevin Klein did a good job coming back. Coming up, it's the New York Lottery Intermission Report. Rick Nash is John Giannone's special guest. Bill Pino in the studio with the Audi MSG 150, and then we'll hear Brian Leach and Ron Duguay's take on the game. Rick Nash with a first period goal. Rangers have made it stand up. They've been physical. They have blocked shots. And Henrik Lundqvist is there with big saves. End of 2 on opening night. 1-0 Rangers lead.
Those are all good points. I think one thing I would add to that is that when the Rangers had a few other opportunities to take a shot from pretty good position, they passed it up. I don't think they can afford to pass up a good scoring chance.
Underway, third period. Rangers with a 1-0 lead. Brassard, Hagelin, Zuccarello, McDonough, and Girardi for the Rangers. Paul Stastny has stayed on the ice on this first shift. On with Alexander Steen. And Lindstrom there, and a good block by Ryan McDonough deflects the shot up into the netting.
Real good first shift by both Girardi and McDonough. Girardi with a couple of plays in the neutral zone, and then Girardi with that defensive play as well. Girardi over 16 minutes of ice time through 2 periods. And that includes sitting out a couple of minutes in the penalty box.
Ryan McDonough with over 19 minutes through 2 periods. Stahl bangs it off the boards. Boyle able to get it out of the zone. 12 games on the NHL schedule tonight, 4 last night to get the season going. A lot of low-scoring games, though the Devils won 6-4 in their game over Philadelphia in Philly. And Pittsburgh defeated the Ducks in a high-scoring game. The rest of the games, all pretty low-scoring games. In the 1-1, 2-1 area, Columbus with a 3-1 win in their opening game in Buffalo. Rangers will be in Columbus Saturday night. And that game right here on MSG, beginning with pregame coverage at 6:30. And then the Rangers and the Blue Jackets. John Moore on with Kevin Klein. Tipped ahead by Marty St. Louis. St. Louis, Nash, and Kreider, the line for the Rangers. David Backes. Long shot knocked away. The rebound put in. Jaden Schwartz was there. Lundqvist wanted to fight that rebound away, and it went right to Jaden Schwartz.
Well, this was a play in the neutral zone where St. Louis was able to come back with an odd man rush. The puck did not go in deep, and that little pass right there, and it's actually a 3-on-3, then a 3-on-4. And it turns out to be poor defensive coverage. I mean, 3-on-3 to 3-on-4, and then John Moore doesn't cover up on Jaden Schwartz. Doesn't get his stick, and Schwartz is able to get the rebound and tie the game.
So the early goal here in the third period. Schwartz along the boards. Miller took it away. Blues keep in, but give it away to Dan Boyle. Stopped by Laterra. Yuri Laterra's shot blocked by Boyle. He's still down. That shot went wide. Bangs off the glass. Boyle's hurting. But staying on the ice with the Blues applying pressure here. Laterra with a back pass to the line. Jordan Leopold hit his own man with the shot. And Duclair was able to get it in to Stempniak. To J.T. Miller, forced back by Jaden Schwartz. Out to Girardi, save on a deflection. Rebound wide by Stempniak. Off the back of the net. Taken back by Leopold, able to work it ahead, and it's cleared out. And now the Blues crowd getting loud as McDonough is slowed down on a stick check by Barrett Jackman. Rangers have not been able to sustain offense in the last 2 periods, including this one. First period, they were good.
I think the penalties that they took kind of got them out of their flow in the second period and allowed St. Louis to gain some momentum.
That pass tipped by Hagelin goes into the Rangers bench.
Dan, we're going to take another look at the goal here. And again, the Rangers were not in poor defensive position. Now, right there, Marty St. Louis can't get the puck in. And it... Sorry about that, folks. Trying to get that off of there. And the Rangers, at this point, they have 4 players back to 3. Now, right in front, you'll see Jaden Schwartz goes right past John Moore and is able to get the rebound and put it in.
Bart Stahl pinching in down the boards. St. Louis winds it deep to Kreider in the corner. Kreider back for St. Louis. Checked there by Ian Cole. Centered. Comes in front for Nash, but Pietrangelo got a piece of it. Behind the net, Cole. Cole able to move it ahead. Stopped by St. Louis. Nice play.
Boy, Kreider would have been in all alone, and it hit his skate and deflected away.
3:40 into the second period. Icing is whistled against the Rangers. Tomorrow at 5 on MSG Plus. Get ready for the Giants' big matchup with the Eagles, with Harry Carson, Roman Oben, and Carl Banks on Giants First and 10. Tomorrow at 5 on MSG Plus. Eagles 4-1, Giants 3-2. Big game coming up. TJ Oshie, offside, St. Louis. 3:48 gone by here in the third. The Blues have scored to tie the game. Jaden Schwartz getting the goal.
He was able to come back. Once he signed his contract, he was able to play the final 2 preseason games.
Dan Boyle being iced on the bench. Tanner Glass jockeying with Ryan Reeves. The linesman steps in.
Well, look where Ryan Reeves is lined up, well inside the circle. That's the problem Tanner Glass has with it.
John Giannone, what do you hear at ice level?
Yeah, guys, since the moment Girardi collided with Paul Stastny, Ryan Reeves has been the most vocal one about Girardi, and he was just screaming at him again there through Tanner Glass in that faceoff circle.
Moore overskated the puck. Ott takes a hit from Tanner Glass, but cleared it out. Reeves after. John Moore gets there. Reeves with a big hit. That's fired ahead and blocked by Dominic Moore. Kevin Klein comes over against Maxime Lapierre. Out comes Dominic Moore with the puck. Leopold. Moore rides him to the boards. Leopold stays with it. Now Lapierre. Game tied 1-1. 4:35 gone by here in the third. Lundqvist decides to cover up.
Now Ryan Reeves with an active shift. Good information from John Giannone as to what was going on with Reeves and Dan Girardi. And here he comes on the forecheck. Good solid hit, clean hit on John Moore, who had to go back and play the puck. Reeves is a big, strong, tough hit.
There's Backes against Brassard. Backes wins. Rangers were better on faceoffs in the second period, but still the edge to St. Louis. Shot blocked. Another shot blocked. Shot went wide by Backes. Excuse me, that was Oshie who took that last shot. Backes playing it across. Bouwmeester lost control. Bergwijn winds it deep. Mark Stahl overworked it out of the zone. Blues try to play it back. We've got something going. Oshie and Zuccarello. Not your everyday occurrence. You hear the home crowd reaction to TJ Oshie getting involved.
Now there's Zuccarello comes in with a hit. Sticks come up a little bit. Some conversation. Oh, a slash by Oshie behind the back of the leg. Now the push. Now the conversation. And as we know about Zuccarello, he's not big in stature, but he doesn't back down. He sticks as he can, intimidate the guy. Takes the worst from that altercation between the two.
5:07, the time of the fighting majors, to TJ Oshie and Matt Zuccarello. So each team losing a top forward. Rangers bring out Miller, Duclair, and Stepniak.
Now Zuccarello, knowing him, he just might have thought we need to do something to kind of change the momentum a little bit. St. Louis has the momentum in the game.
Tarasenko's pass blocked by Girardi. Girardi pressured by Jaden Schwartz, and will work it out of the zone. 5:07, the time of the fighting majors. Laterra going deep with the puck. Pietrangelo. Schwartz got it to Laterra, back to Jaden Schwartz. A pass off the skate of Tarasenko and out of the zone. Played by Cole. Tipped ahead, Rangers take it. Ooh, the referee fell down on his own. Hit a rut in the ice. Pietrangelo. Rangers had Kreider, Nash, and St. Louis on. Long pass for Steen. Kicks it ahead against Kevin Klein. Moves in behind the back feed. Broken up by St. Louis. Lindstrom's got it for St. Louis. That pass off the back of the net. Klein gets it to Mark Stahl. Taken away by Steen. That pass off the skate of Steen. And the Rangers break out. Here's Kreider moving in to the net. He scores! Chris Kreider with that great, powerful burst of speed goes in all alone and makes it 2-1.
This was an unbelievable play by Mark Stahl. Left side of your screen. Watch how he never gives up with the stick. Twice he deflects it there, and then that allows the Rangers to pick it up. They cheat over to one side. Nobody saw Kreider, and you're not going to catch him when he's got a little bit of room there. Little stutter step and then a quick release to give the Rangers the 2-1 lead. But what an effort by Mark Stahl to keep that puck on the boards that allowed the Rangers to pick it up and make the play.
A goal and an assist for Chris Kreider in the game. And the Rangers have the lead again. Lundqvist. That was blocked behind the net. Good effort by Tarasenko on that play behind the net.
And that was Nash with the pass.
Berglund.
Nash with the pass, Sam, to Kreider, so he's a goal and an assist also.
Berglund. Checked there by McDonough. Dominic Moore knocked down Steve Ott. Kobister playing it wide on the net. Brassard goes over with a hit on Shattenkirk. 7:15 gone by, third period. Rangers have a 2-1 lead. 4 players along the boards. Rangers get it out of the zone. Berglund recovers for St. Louis. Tanner Glass is on here with Marty St. Louis and Derek Brassard. Blues move in. Schwartz gets to the puck. Back pass was tipped, kept in by the Blues. Backhander by Laterra is blocked. St. Louis with the outlet. Hagelin moves in with Brassard. Saved by Elliott, no rebound. 7:50 gone by in the third. Again, a little get together after the whistle. Hagelin involved. Chris Kreider with a great move and a great goal, and the Rangers lead 2-1. Brassard, Hagelin, and St. Louis. The shot blocked. Played in front. Elliott made a save. The rebound loose, and a penalty call. St. Louis was trying to get to the rebound. The Blues are called for hooking, and the Rangers will get their third power play of the game.
Boy, right off the face-off, the Rangers end up with control of the puck. Good job by Marty St. Louis. Or pardon me, Brassard on the face-off. And they get it there, and St. Louis had a chance at that puck. He was getting hooked just as he went to fire in that rebound and missed the puck.
This Rangers power play presented by Volkswagen.
What a chance right here.
Kreider took that last face-off. Puck cleared down the ice. Kreider, Duclair, St. Louis, McDonough, and Stempniak for the power play. Lee Stempniak moves up ice. Anthony Duclair left it for Kreider. Worked it ahead and stopped Kreider. Down the boards. Checked by Steen. Puck taken away by Duclair. Nice play. Got it back to Stempniak. Toward the net. Kreider behind the net. Off the stick of St. Louis. McDonough comes down. Blues take over and clear. Long pass. Kreider was still in the zone. Would have been an offside. Turns into an icing.
Well, what happened on the play was part of the Rangers were changing, and Kreider was slow to come out of the zone.
Experience Blue Shirts action in a suite at Madison Square Garden this season. A limited number of single-night suites are now available. Visit NewYorkrangers.com/suites or call 212-465-6771 to reserve yours today. 8:40 gone by, third period. Minute 18 to go in the Rangers power play.
Yeah, see, Kreider's got to come back on the ice. Duclair has to stay on the ice.
Right.
Let's see who they're going to send off. See, Lundqvist tried to get everybody changing because the Rangers were changing, so was St. Louis. Kreider was slow coming out of the zone, and Lundqvist saw him all the way up there and tried to make the change, and Brassard goes off.
But Kreider would have been better off touching the puck for an offside rather than an icing. St. Louis on the face-off. Stempniak able to get to the puck, and the Rangers come out. Duclair sends it deep. Rangers make that change now. Duclair stays on. And the Blues able to clear all the way down.
You know, Sam, the other thing that the officials can do is that they can rule a play like that intentional offside, and they can bring it down the other way.
You're right. Behind the net, Miller. John Moore started to go after it. Steve Ott got there first and clears. Good penalty kill thus far for the Blues. Rangers holding a 2-1 lead as Dan Girardi heads up ice. 40 seconds to go in the power play. Brassard. Nash is on. Brassard, Nash, and Miller. And the takeaway by Jaden Schwartz. Girardi is back with John Moore.
You know what? We haven't seen Dan Boyle on this power play, have we? Wonder if that hand that we saw earlier, he was icing up, is giving him a problem.
There's John Moore. 15 seconds left in the power play. Leads JT Miller. Miller with Kreider. Stahl has come on. Blues clear. Rangers not even getting a shot.
In fact, Dan Boyle is not on the bench for the Rangers.
Kreider. No shots on goal on that power play. Team's at full strength. Kreider with a setup for Duclair. Broke his stick on the shot. 9:50 to go. Third period. Rangers leading 2-1. Nice defensive play by Kevin Klein. Back fourth, Jordan Leopold. Here's Jaden Schwartz. Gets the round. Jesper Fast. Puck around the board. Stahl trying to move it. Picked up and brought out by Dominic Moore. Moore, Fast, and Glass on for the Rangers. Blues turn it. That shot, score! Vladimir Tarasenko with a beautiful wrist shot ties it at 2.
I'll tell you who made the play with Jaden Schwartz. They compare him. There he is from behind, 17. Steals the puck from Dominic Moore, doesn't go in, stops, gets the puck, and then they go the other way. And Tarasenko, we told you early, you got to watch this kid. He can shoot the puck. Makes one little move, and then the quick wrist shot beats Lundqvist. But that's all because of the hustle. They talk about Jaden Schwartz like they do Zach Parise, with his hard work and never give up. And that's what he showed right there, to steal the puck and get them going the other way.
So the Blues have tied it for the second time. A little over 9 minutes to go in the third. Lifted ahead for Hagelin. Brassard, Hagelin, and Zuccarello on for the Rangers. Kevin Klein and Mark Stahl on defense. Jaden Schwartz getting an assist. Paul Stastny, I believe, got an assist on it. At 10:42. Brassard behind the net is poked away by Bouwmeester. And Backus able to move it out. Duclair comes on the ice to play it. Fired ahead by John Moore. It's on goal, steered away by Brian Elliott. Pietrangelo. His pass blocked. Nice play by Stempniak. Taken back by Pietrangelo. Pass across for Paul Stastny. Behind the net. Played across to Lindstrom. Out to Pietrangelo. Blocked by JT Miller. Duclair able to get out with the puck. John Moore chips it off the boards. Duclair sends it in. And the Blues take over. Fired all the way through for Alexander Steen. Steen moves in. Saved by Lundqvist. Tough shot by Steen. Rangers take it back. Stempniak gets out, lifts it ahead. And the Blues recover. Laterra. First-year man from Finland drops it back. Off the boards. Poked at by McDonough. Tarasenko in the corner. Jaden Schwartz, good effort. Laterra against Nash as they battle. Oh, real strong effort by the Blues. Jaden Schwartz, boy, is he noticeable every shift. Kreider fires in. Tarasenko and Nash overskated. Blues come out. Sent in by Shattenkirk. 7 minutes to go. Third period tied 2-2. Kreider able to clear it out. Rangers with 23 shots on goal, but only 7 since the first period. McDonough to Dominic Moore. Blues break it up. TJ Oshie. Girardi around to McDonough. Girardi took a hit. McDonough moves it up to Tanner Glass. Leopold after it. Glass is there first. Good hustle by Tanner Glass. Jesper Fast trying to poke it loose. Dominic Moore's got it. Shot blocked. Oshie against Moore. Backes trying to push it ahead with a glove. Shot by Stahl is blocked. Backman pressured by Glass. Puck taken away by Moore. Rangers fourth line. Outstanding shift here. Moore gets shoved down by Barrett Jackman. And play stops with exactly 6 minutes remaining in the third period. Vladimir Tarasenko tying it for St. Louis. 2-2 the score. Cold hard facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Dominic Moore's been the Rangers' best face-off man in the game all night long.
Yeah, sure has. They're trying to use him as much as they can. And he's been real good in that area.
He's got to take all the face-offs.
Yeah, he does.
It's as simple as that.
He does.
Well, again, a product of the Rangers missing Derek Stepan. The Rangers adjust. And centerman Marty Saint-Louis has struggled on face-offs. Kevin Klein pressured by Laterra. Brassard able to skate it out. Pass broken up by Shattenkirk. Here come the Blues. Tarasenko. Pass for Laterra. Quick shot by Schwartz went wide. And a whistle and a penalty call. Zuccarello will go for tripping. Blues get a power play with 5:34 to go here in the third.
Now you go back to what John Giannone reported prior to the third period. The players and coaches talking about turnovers and getting away from that. Well, this is a turnover that leads to the penalty. Rangers, again, they don't get it in deep. So there's the turnover. Here comes St. Louis the other way with a scoring chance. And then Zuccarello behind the net. Look at, there's the stick. Into the skates of Tarasenko. Down he goes. Key penalty kill for the Rangers.
Zuccarello tripping at 14:26.
Another face-off win by Dominic Moore. The Rangers clear it.
Rangers have Hagelin and Moore with Girardi and McDonough. Blues are 0 for 5 on the power play in the game. Stastny trying to get a pass through. McDonough block it. It trickles wide of the net. Stastny around the Backes. Back pass to Shattenkirk. Now Steen. Steen looking toward the net. Backes set up in front, battling Girardi. That's been a battle all night long. Here's Steen. One pass. Kicked away by Lundqvist on the shot by Shattenkirk. Tarasenko. Back to Shattenkirk. Steen with a shot. Save Lundqvist. Rebound. Save Lundqvist.
Well, what a save that was. He showed so much patience. Tarasenko with his shot came in, and Lundqvist just moved to his right quickly and held his ground and got in perfect position to make the save on Tarasenko.
50 seconds to go in the power play. 4:25 to go. Now 4:20 to go in this third period. Kevin Klein. Stahl is there trying to move it. Comes out in front. Rangers get there and clear. Brassard got to, Tanner Glass got to the puck to clear. Glass and Fast were on. Now Stempniak is on with Nash. Pietrangelo sends it deep. Stahl looks around. He's tied up with Berglund. Oshie is there. Number 74. Puck loose, taken by Stempniak. And he drives it down the ice. Pietrangelo with 10 seconds to go in the power play. 3:40 to go in the third. 2-2 the score. Pietrangelo stick handling in. In deep, Laterra. Lindstrom with a shot kicked away by Lundqvist. Lindstrom against Hagelin. Nice stick handling, shot by Ott, blocked. Hagelin off the boards, Dominic Moore brings it out. Team's at full strength. Rangers penalty killing, 6 for 6 in the game. 2 shots on goal for the Blues on that power play. Moore in front, nice play by Elliott with a stick to tip it away. John Moore is back. Jaden Schwartz moves in. Moore stayed with him, and Lundqvist covers in the crease. 3:02 to go in the third period. Henrik Lundqvist keeping the Rangers alive in this one with some big saves. The upcoming schedule is brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Rangers. At Columbus Saturday night. Sunday at home, the home opener against Toronto Maple Leafs. Tuesday against the Islanders. All games start at 7 o'clock. All games on MSG. John Giannone will handle the play-by-play the next 2 games. I'll be back with you on Tuesday night. That shot went off a body in front and wide of the net. Zuccarello brings it out with Brassard and Hagelin. Zuccarello for Brassard. That was broken up. Hagelin shot deflected over the top. Steen tried to move it. Stopped by Zuccarello. The Blues able to clear it out. 2:40 to go in regulation time. Tied 2-2. Rangers in the midst of a change. Almost had too many men on the ice.
Close.
You hear the fan reaction.
See what Brassard did? He just leaned over the boards. Didn't even try to get up. Just leaned over to get his skates off the ice.
In deep. St. Louis looking for it. Kreider is there. Kreider and Nash, the Rangers goal scorers. St. Louis playing it across. Girardi winds up. Down low for Kreider. Behind the net, St. Louis battling Bouwmeester. St. Louis after it, took a hit, shot by Nash, blocked in front. Kreider to Nash. Nash moving, shooting, save, Elliott, rebound, played by Pietrangelo. Oh, good shot by Rick Nash. Kept in, here's St. Louis. Nash scores! What a shift by Nash, Kreider, and St. Louis. And the Rangers lead for the 3rd time in the game.
Sam, all the Blues thought the puck was going out of the zone. It hit a stanchion in the glass and bounced back towards the net. Here's just before that. The great shot right there. Kreider with the setup. Nash the shot. Good save. Now St. Louis has it. They think it's going out. Right off the glass. No, it hits a stanchion. Bounces all the way back to in front of the net. And then St. Louis set up Nash for the goal. There it goes. Off the stanchion, not out of the zone, back the other way. St. Louis alert, beautiful pass, wonderful finish. Again, the Rangers lead it by 1.
And what a start to the season for Rick Nash. 2 goals and an assist. Minute 40 to go in regulation time. Rangers lead 3-2. Leopold reverses. Shattenkirk had it deflected. Up the boards to Oshie. Moved across. Taken back by Stempniak. Stempniak keeps it in. Joe Stempniak's had a nice game in his Rangers debut.
Now you got better and better at training camp, which most veterans do.
Backes moves in. Hit by Stahl. Minute 10 to go in the 3rd. Klein double team. Elliott sliding out of his crease. Rangers get the puck. Move it up the boards. It's out of the zone. 1 minute to go in regulation time. Hagelin. They went by Nash, who was still in the zone, heading for the bench on a chain. Shattenkirk, rather, Pietrangelo for Steen, and a good play by St. Louis coming back. Blues net is empty. 6 skaters on. With 40 seconds to go in regulation time. Glass, St. Louis, and Dominic Moore on for the Rangers. Glass on the forecheck. Bouwmeester leads Steen in deep. Play back. Here's Jay Bouwmeester behind the net. Steen with a shot. It's blocked. McDonough moves it. 18 seconds to go. Jaden Schwartz there for St. Louis. Steen puts it in front. It's kept in. Pietrangelo to Bouwmeester. That shot deflects up into the netting with 5.4 seconds to go. And coming up, following the conclusion of the action, It's Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame. We'll hear from head coach Alain Vigneault. We'll hear from the guys in the studio. Brian Leach is there. Ron Duguay is there. They'll be joined by Dave Maloney and Joe Micheletti. So stay tuned for Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame right after the action here. Now it's time for the game recap, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. The Blues called a timeout. Rick Nash, 2 goals and an assist. Jaden Schwartz with a goal and an assist for the Blues. 14 total penalties, but no power play goals in this game.
Well, that line of St. Louis, Nash, and Kreider, boy, when they have the puck, Kreider's really been impressive as well. Some of the passes that he's made, the no-look passes through the legs behind the play to find Nash and to find St. Louis. And Rick Nash, boy, he's just snapping it, isn't he? He wants it, and he wants to get the shot. He wants to get it into a shooting area, and then he wants to get the shot on goal.
And he's on the ice here. 5.4 seconds remaining. Girardi and McDonough, Dominic Moore, Rick Nash, and Derek Brassard. In for the face-off is Berglund. Backes is in the slot. Nash is opposite Backes. Will the linesman drop the puck? And there's some movement on the outside. And they say the Blues move. Berglund argues the call. Steen comes in for the face-off. Moore wins it to the corner. McDonough's hit hard. Out in front. The shot went wide by Pietrangelo. And the game is over. And the Rangers win the opening game of the season by beating the St. Louis Blues 3-2.
Boy, Sam, this was just a game where they had to stay with it. When things went against them, they had to try and regain control of the game. And the effort by Lundqvist, who was really good again. But the Rangers, and McDonough was out there again at the end. What an effort to find a way to win. As soon as it looked like they were in good shape, St. Louis would score to tie it, and the Rangers would come right back. Twice they came right back in the third period to regain the lead and found a way to win it. And Dominic Moore, even though he had the puck stripped from him in the neutral zone on that second goal, his face-offs and the way he played defensively was really important.
Well, we said he had to take all the face-offs, and he took the most important one at the end of the game. Henrik Lundqvist with a superb effort, 23 saves. The Rangers with a terrific effort on the opening night of the season for them. On the road in St. Louis, win it 3-2.